Hey everybody, how are you guys all doing? My name is Nicole and I can be found on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, Pinterest, here on YouTube, all social medias at Alpaca My Yards, Madzdesignz. I just thought that I would come in and I would do the 20 questions that everybody is doing. I think it's really neat to see everybody's answers and we get to know each other a little bit better. So bear with me here. I'm really not all that prepared. I tried to be, but that just isn't working today. The kids are coming over for supper, and I have a little bit of downtime, so that's why I decided I would try and get it done now. Okay, so the first one is, what does your name mean? Nicole means victory of the people. I did find this on Urban Dictionary, and I thought that I would share it because I thought it was quite hilarious. Nicole, she is a selfless person who is very outgoing. She doesn't care what other people think of her, and she is a great friend. She has her bitchy moments, but she will fix it. She doesn't care about being the most popular. She sticks with her close friends and makes new friends easily. She is the bestest of best friends. That is hilarious. I'm not going to toot my own horn, but there's a lot of stuff in there that actually is true. This question was supposed to be where were you from, but I'll move into where were you born first. I was born in New Westminster, British Columbia, where I lived in BC up until I was 4. And then my grandparents got sick in Saskatchewan, where we moved to, and my parents decided we would just stay here, and they got sick and they ended up passing away here, so all of us kids stayed here. However, I'm the only one that actually stayed where they brought us to. Everybody else has kind of moved to Alberta and BC back there. But I stayed here. This is where I met Dean, and this is where I started my life. So, and then I'll go to where my friend from. Well, I actually live here in Saskatchewan, Canada. Yeah, I've lived here since I was 4 years old. So this is home to me. What would have your parents named you if you were a boy? Honestly, I haven't the slightest idea. I have no clue. That's actually something I never ever thought about, and unfortunately that's too late for that, but what do you do? I guess if it was that important, I probably wouldn't have known. So, what is your biggest accomplishments? This one I kind of struggle with because I believe every day is an accomplishment. Not just me, but everybody. We were given this day to do what we can do with it, and no matter if you're healthy or if you're not healthy, or if you make it to the end of the day, to me that is an accomplishment in itself, because you have pushed through all of the obstacles that we hold in life that holds us back for all of that. So I truly believe that every single day that I wake up is an accomplishment. Now, I don't know if I would say that it was an accomplishment. Me and my husband, we met when I was 15 and he was 19, and I got pregnant 3 months after we started dating, and everybody I knew in my family, everything, they doubted. They said that I was going to be a single mom, that this would never ever last, that we were moving too fast. And you know what? We probably were moving too fast, but our accomplishment in that was that we didn't give up on one another, and we pushed through all of the negativity that people had to offer us, and we're happy today. So we have 3 kids together, we have a house. I mean, we've gained this whole big life with grandkids, and to me that's just the biggest slap in the face to the doubters that were there before, because even my own family, like my sisters and brother, they would say, like, this will never last, you know, you guys are just here, and you guys are just living in the moment. And you know what, to be truthfully honest, we were at the time, but where we are today is something that we made happen. We worked. A relationship is the hardest thing in life to conquer. There's so much that goes into it. There's so much that each person needs to give, or it's not going to make it. And unfortunately, I met somebody, and I was lucky enough to marry somebody who was willing to do the same thing. I can honestly say in the past 27 years, we have never broken up once. Never. Not once. Ever. He has been my rock throughout my whole life, and He was there when I lost my parents, and I was there for him when he lost his parents. Yeah, to me, that is a huge accomplishment that from 15 to 19, we made it happen. We had 3 kids together. They all went to school. They all graduated. They all have jobs. They live on their own. They have their own babies. To me, that's oh, sorry about that. Looking outside, it's really bright out there. Sorry. To me, that's an accomplishment in itself. What is your eye color? I've always been told that I have cat eyes, so it kind of fluctuates between green and yellow. And said my dad used to absolutely love my eyes, so he would tell everybody in his hospital. He lived there for the last 4 years of his life. It was a rehab, and he was a veteran, so he got to stay there. Well, he paid to stay there, but yeah, my dad always said, oh, look at my daughter's eyes. They're the most beautiful. And you know what? Honestly, I'd have to say that's probably the most compliments I've ever got in my life was my eyes. I don't really know anymore. They're just eyes. I can see. What is your favorite candle scent? I don't burn candles, but I do Scentsy. And my 2 most favorite ones in the entire world would be cinnamon. I love the smell of Christmas. I love all of that rich smell. And then on the other spectrum of that, I love fresh linen. That is my most favorite ever. I love walking into my house and it smells like your whole house has just came out of a washing machine. Can you cook? I can cook, yeah, of course I can cook. I don't cook as much anymore because my kids are grown up and they've moved out and my husband works split shifts. So a lot of times I'm good just to have a salad or a bowl of soup or whatever it is. But I can cook, and I do cook when we're at home and we have a purpose to have to cook or whatever. But I mean, I'm no chef and I don't ever want to be one. But my kids didn't starve, so I'm going to say, yeah, I've been able to cook. What is good about your life right now? You know, I find it so easy that everybody could just name all the bad things in your life, but what we forget is all of those bad days or bad things in your day actually shape you to who you are, and they help you go forward for the next day, right? I love everything about my life, and believe me, I have a lot of health issues that so many people have, but I mean, I have came to understand that we are never guaranteed another day, another moment. So live life the way that you have it now and just go with it. And I have learned that watching my parents pass away and then myself get sick and be given some pretty grave diagnosis, that we can sit and we can whine and we can bitch and we can do all of that, but that doesn't do anything for us. So I believe that I love everything about my life. I love my husband. I love my kids. I love my grandkids. They are my life. I love being able to come on here and talk to you. I love all the people that I met on here. There's so much. I love my life. You got to take the bad with the good, right? So what is your sign? I'm Cancer. That's my sign. What scares me about aging? You know, there's really nothing that I ever really think about. I mean, we're older each day that we're getting, so I don't think that it's really anything big. And you know what? My mom passed away at 52, and that is not old, so nothing scares me about getting old. Yeah. Nothing, because you know it is what it is, and yeah, I'm just not afraid to age. Like, I know a lot of people, when it's their birthday, like, oh, we've been stuck on 32 for years. I don't really care. It doesn't matter to me. I am the age that I am. If you don't like it, too bad. There's not much we can do about that. Like, I don't hide my age. I don't try and act like I'm younger. I just don't. I don't care. It doesn't bother me. What is your favorite holiday? I love all holidays, and the only reason I do is because I get to see all of my kids and I get to see my grandkids. And to me, that is the most important thing in the world. My life is generated around my children and my grandchildren and my husband, and that's what it is. So holidays, we get together. But if I have to pick one, I'm going to say Christmas, and that's just because when I was little and my parents were raising me, Christmas was so big to them, and that was one time of the year that everybody got together, and no matter what it was, you just had a good day. You just let all your everything be bygones for that day, and you would just get together and you would just have a good meal, good laughs, play some games, and I have carried that on throughout my whole life. So my kids know that I do not care what you guys do for the 364 days a year, but the one day that I ask for and I expect is for you to come home and have Christmas. I understand it. I mean, they have their own families, they do their own things. I understand that, but you need to come home. Whether it be before the other person's or after the other person's family's Christmas, I don't care. That is just the one day that I reserve for us. My husband doesn't get a lot of days off. He tries to book a lot, but he works on weekends and stuff, and he's good at what he does, and he does a lot more than he needs to do there, so it's hard for him to book a lot of time off, and that is the one day that he knows. Again, I don't care. You can go in, you can do all your readings, you can do all your checks, but you're not working an 8-hour shift on that day. I'm so sorry, but that is just the one day that I reserve for us as a family. And typically, for the past couple of years anyway, because my husband is a building engineer at our local, what would you call it? Like, it's where our hockey games and our football stadium is, and like all of that kind of entertainment. So on Christmas, after we're done eating, my husband usually goes and opens one of the rinks, and then the kids get their skates on, they go skating, they play hockey. Of course I don't, because I just can't, but I go and I take pictures and I watch grandbabies, and it's just a fun time, and my kids know how important it is to me, and so does their spouses. Yeah, so I'd say that's my favorite. I do like all of my holidays, because I do get to see everybody at least either the day of a holiday or the day after a holiday, or like something within that time anyway. So holidays I treasure, because my husband usually can get those ones off. What is my guilty pleasure? I don't really have any guilty pleasures, because I don't feel guilty about any of the things that I buy or that I do, or yeah, I don't know. If I was guilty, I mean, I wouldn't probably do them, right? Like, I think that again stems from when you have kids, all of your likes and all of your wants while they're little and growing up get put on the back burner, and I get that. That is exactly what a parent does. So we go without buying everything. I can remember when the kids were little and I would go and buy a t-shirt. I would feel so guilty because that $15 could have bought them this or could have bought them that. So I didn't buy myself a whole lot of stuff, and that's just what I did as a parent. So now that my kids are all grown up, they'll have jobs, they live on their own, I get the things that I want and I don't feel guilty about getting them. So, but my real big thing that I buy tons and tons of is candy. I am a candy fanatic. I have candy all over my house. When people come, they're like, "Oh, how don't you eat this?" Because I always have candy. So it's not like I have to like down it every time it comes in, opposed to somebody who doesn't have candy in their life or treats or anything like that. I don't mind chocolate. I'm not a huge chocolate eater. I'll eat some chocolate bars, but I don't like chocolate pudding or chocolate cake or icing, which I know is super weird and kind of unheard of in a lot of ways. But it's my 5-cent candies. They are not my guilty pleasure, but they are my pleasure. And I don't have any guilt about buying yarn or any crafty things, just because, like I said, I mean, we went without all this stuff because we need to give it to our kids, and now my kids make their own money and they buy what they want, and I don't have to worry about that. And same with my husband. He buys things, and there is no need to feel guilty about it. I mean, we work for everything that we have. So I don't feel guilty about anything that I buy, and my husband doesn't feel guilty about anything he buys. My husband's been always really good. If like he has a Mustang that he rebuilt, and he has 2 snowmobiles, and one of them broke down. We've had to fix them 2 separate times or whatever. But my husband is the type of man who does not take money out of his actual work 80-hour paycheck or whatever. He is a person that has always worked a little bit of overtime to be able to do this, because he never ever took it away. He never wanted to take any money away from the family type of deal. So he's still good with stuff like that. He also does CANT starts, and so he puts those in, and he actually surprised me with the tablet that I'm actually recording on right now, and it is new, so I'm still trying to kind of get the feel of it. That kind of diverted really far. However, I don't have any guilty pleasures. What is my favorite show to binge watch? I binge watch so much, you guys. YouTube, of course. Everybody's going to say YouTube because that's just what we do. We put it on the person. I start at the bottom and let it go all the way up until that person's done, and then I move on to the next one. So I also like with the live PD, live rescue, any reality stuff like that. Hellfire Heroes. I like Highway Through Hell. I like When Eyes Were Truckers was on. Love that. I love pretty much anything to do with reality is my number one thing. Right now I'm binge watching their channels in the UK, and it's towards their hospitals. So the one that I'm watching right now is The Secret Life of a Hospital Bed, and it just goes within the hospital, and then when you go to emergency, that bed is that number, and it shows where the bed takes you to throughout the whole thing. And so I'm doing that one. I love all of the BBC reality shows that they offer. Like there's the Helicopter ER. Yeah, I don't know. That's pretty much what I watch and binge watch. So if you guys have any suggestions for any more reality, medical, anything like that, please do just send me the quick little message down below letting me know, because I'm always looking for new stuff, and then I come to the end of it and I can't find anything. What is one of the things you can't leave the house without? I wish I had something better to say, but I really don't. My telephone. I have my telephone on me 24/7, and there's a couple different reasons. One reason is I want my kids to be able to get a hold of me no matter what time of day it is or night. If they need something, if they're in trouble, I want to be able to answer the phone. And if I don't have my phone, then I can't do that. A couple of years ago, my son was working and he was driving into the city, and some trucker decided not to check how high his load was, and he hit the bridge, and it all came flying back into my son's car or work truck. And I'm gonna look for pictures, and if I can find them, I'll just insert a couple in here. However, he was hysterical and couldn't talk to me. But you know what? He had his phone with him with Mom, and what do you think they did? They picked his phone up and they hit Mom, and they called me and told me. And that right there is exactly why I will not leave without my phone. I will not leave without my phone. Another time, my daughter was in grade 6 at the time, and she was playing outside, and it was the middle of winter, and why the hell they ever had the tetherball out there, I have no clue, but she was playing outside, walked by, someone banged her in the nose and broke her nose. They called me. If I didn't have a phone, there would have been a hunt to try and figure out who the heck to call or who's going to respond. Another time, my other son, he was driving home, and it was winter, and someone ran the yield sign and creamed right into the side of him, and it was freezing. I mean, it was in the minus 40s, and he called us and we went right away. I know that we have lived without cell phones, and I say that all the time, like, what do we do before then? But you guys, we have had a cell phone since those goddamn big bricks came along, plus also the ones that you put in your car. So a cell phone has been a staple in our lives for a very, very long time, and it's very sad that I have to say it, but it is the one thing that I will not leave without at home. And if I do leave it at home, I will turn around and I'll come back. And another reason is because I like I've said before, I have health issues. I get a lot of different calls from different doctors telling me I gotta do this, gotta do that. And yes, they could leave a message, but doctors work on their own hours. So if they call and I don't answer and I have something in the morning, how in the heck am I going to be able to tell them yay or nay I can or cannot go? So, my phone. Are you a morning person or night owl? Night owl. I'd say morning, but that's only because I stay up all night until the morning. Because of the health issues that I have, I don't sleep a whole lot. So I'm either up watching TV, or I'm up watching, binge watching stuff, or I am crocheting, or I'm just laying there. So I'm not a person who goes to bed early. I mean, there's lots of times that I see 6 o'clock on the clock and I'm still awake, and then I get a couple hours of sleep and I go back at it, which I know is not ideal for somebody, but it's the way my life is, and it's been that way for a couple of years now, so it doesn't bother me. So I'm a night owl. Morning, I only get up in the morning if I have doctor's appointments or if something's going on. Otherwise than that, I get up later in the morning or whatever. What is my favorite genre of movie? I pretty much like everything. I don't like horror. I don't like sci-fi. I know, I'm sorry guys, because I know you guys all love that kind of stuff. I'd say comedy, holy smokes, comedy, action, it's probably easier to list things that I don't like. I don't like horror, I don't like thriller, I don't like Western movies. My husband absolutely loves the ones that are like black and white, and that's cool because he can watch those while I do my own darn thing, but don't care for that. Again, I like really reality based, you know, like I love that they're coming out with all the banned ones, although some of them are pretty crazy. Motley Crue is one of them, and that was a crazy movie, but it was so good. Freddie Mercury movie, so good. So I like everything. Oh, and I don't really like when they're really raunchy fighting ones either. Like my husband likes UFC, I can't. I have to turn my head and look the other way because I just can't. I can't do that, or boxing or anything like that. That's not my take, but keep watching. What is the last thing you bought? Groceries. Actually, I didn't buy it. Well, I did. I paid for it, but I sent my daughter to go and get stuff tonight for supper. So yeah, that was the last thing that I bought. So exciting, hey? What is your favorite book? I'm not really a huge reader. But like I said previously, my mom passed away from Legar's disease. And there is a book by, Mitch Albom. I'll put it in the Dropbox anyway. And it has to do with ALS. And it's a story of a professor who ends up getting, his name's Maury, and he ends up getting ALS, and one of his students comes back to his life, and they meet Tuesdays with Maury, that's what it's called. So every Tuesday, one of his students comes and sees him. So it kind of runs you through the whole thing of their experience and how it goes for him with his ALS. And there is actually a movie, and I've watched that too. And the other thing that I'm enjoying as of late for books would be crochet books. Different techniques and different patterns, and just being able to read something to see how this is done. I'm really enjoying that. I seen everybody posting it like when I first started, and I thought, I don't really have the money to buy all of the books, and I don't know if I'm going to really like them or not. So let's check out the library. Let's see what our public library has. And they have everything. So I just go to the public library. I go online, select what I want, get it brought in. I go pick it up at the library. I get to look at it, do it all, document some stuff. And if I end up wanting... Sorry, I keep hearing people outside. If I want to... if I've reviewed it and I like it, and it's something that I think that I would use more, then go ahead and buy it. And I know there's tons of places that you can get used books that are super cheap online, so I've kept that in mind too. My tablet's gonna die soon, so let's quickly get this last one in. It's pretty dark, I'm sorry. The last one is, am I an introvert or an extrovert? I asked my daughter this because I wasn't really too sure, but she agrees with me, both. And And she is a lot like me, so she has the exact same thing that I do, and she said both. Depending on the situation of the day and who I'm with and who I'm talking to, I can be very open or I can be very closed. At times I feed off of people, and sometimes I don't need anybody to feed off of. I love being around people, but there's also times that I would rather be by myself. Yeah, so I feel that I'm both, and that's what I thought. So I asked my daughter. My daughter said the same thing. Different people can bring out different things, and I'm not a closed person, but I'm not totally an open person either. Yeah, so like I said, my tablet's gonna die. I just wanted to show you the hat. I know I showed it in my last video that I made for my daughter. Don't mind the hair, like I would have to straighten it, but this is just like washed in a pony all night. So I showed you, if you watched my last video, you've seen that I made this hat for her. Oh, I hope it's not too dark. You guys can see, I hope. And so that's what it looks like on her, or on me. So it's kind of a slouch, but I have this, this was, Lion Brand. And last year I had bought a purple one like this. And purple is my color. I love purple. So I'm thinking that maybe I will make one of these with a black pom-pom. Again, I'm just going to put it on really quick. Tell me if you think that, yeah, I should make one. Or no, don't make it. Just because I'm not sure. Like, I don't really think that I suit toques, but this feels pretty nice. But I believe that, you know, I'm asking all you guys who are actually crocheters, so maybe you guys will have some insight to tell me, don't do it, that's crazy, or yeah, go ahead, make yourself one and wear it. So that's it. That's all I have for you. My tablet's going to die in about 2 seconds here, so just wanted to say thank you so much to everybody, and I'm going to take some people down below if they've already done it. Sorry. If you haven't, come on, let's get to know each other more. All right. Thanks, guys. Bye.